Hi everybody, this letter's pretty long, so we're not going to waste a lot of time at the top with witty banter. Mike, hello, I need some advicey type stuff. So I recently started talking to this girl I met in college. Yes, I am a freshman, you can make fun of me for it. You worked real hard to get yourself into college? Loser. But it only lasted about a weekend because, and this is the bullshit reason I was told, I made an offhand comment about how I was a pyromaniac, jokingly of course, and she got scared and thought I was being serious and that her life was in danger. Now I honestly don't care about that. I wasn't falling in love or anything, so that's not the issue. Okay, couple things. First, you spelled course wrong. Next, during the first couple months at school, you're at a very close proximity with a great many strangers, all of which have unique origin stories. Let's say you made 10 new friends. All of their houses could have burned down in the past, and you would have no idea. So you gotta be careful what you say around new people. Let's say that you are hitchhiking and you get picked up by somebody and the first thing they say is, I haven't killed a hitchhiker in forever. You would be looking for a way out of their Volkswagen bus. Saying you were joking, of course, only makes perfect sense to you in that moment because you are the only person who knows for a matter of fact that you were joking, of course. C-O-U-R-S-E. And now you're like revving up to tell me the real problem, but I think right before that happened, you accidentally exposed what I like to call the actual problem, which is you saying, now I honestly don't care about that, which means that recently you liked someone enough to want to put your mouth on their mouth, but then you made them feel uncomfortable and now you don't care about it. But before we continue, I'd like to say that we all say jokes that don't land. I do it many times a week in front of a great many people. But if you honestly don't care and then you go back to apologize, your apology isn't worth anything. And we continue. The issue is that after everything had settled and the issue was somewhat resolved. The issue was somewhat resolved? What does that mean? That's like if you were out on the street and you found a $10 bill on the ground and you said some shit like, oh, there's a $10 bill on the ground. How are we supposed to spend it if it's on the ground?
Well, we're gonna have to pick it up at some point.
Problem somewhat resolved.
It's a bad angle.
She completely refused to talk to me. Not only that, but all of our mutual friends took her side and are now no longer friends with me. None of them will talk to me. None of them will invite me to anything like they used to. I get the sense that I was kicked out of the friend group. Now there's only so much that I could say because I don't know any of these people and I wasn't there, but I have a couple questions for sure. 1. What the hell did you say? 2, did you apologize for it? 3, if you did it sound like this? Oh, what the hell? I was joking. It's called a joke where you can't take a joke? Because that's not good. I'm already socially anxious as it is. Every college freshman is socially anxious. People can be spooked easily when they're nervous. People could also say weird, off-putting jokes about being a pyromaniac when they're nervous. You gotta know your audience. It easily sounds like something I could have said back then. So I get it. And it's halfway through the year, so all the groups of friends have already been established, so finding new friends is a more than difficult task. It's even more than difficult. Don't stack the deck against yourself. All the groups of friends haven't been chosen. People are still chilling with people that they were hanging out with at orientation. And that shit doesn't last forever. You're also kind of making it sound like you've already hung out with everybody else in school, and this group of friends was your last hope. That's just not true. Do you think you're the only college freshman who's ever said some stupid shit? I said exclusively stupid shit my freshman year in high school, and then I learned from it and I grew. Long story short, I had a bunch of weddings to go to last year. I still would like to keep talking to her and possibly form a relationship, if at all possible, because she's possible with a V. I'll keep going because she's a really nice person and I don't think lowly of her in any way, and I'd like to get some of my friends back if possible, but I don't know how. Can you give me any advice on what to do in this situation or how I could go about talking to them to reestablish a connection that was so unjustly broken? Thanks so much for any of your help. I hope I can make some sort of funny video out of it. Yeah, we're gonna try. Thank you very much for this. You have to remember, unless you make a baby, nothing from college lasts forever. If it were me, I would just make a very honest, heartfelt apology and you kind of let the chips fall where they fall. Maybe it was all a misunderstanding. Maybe you weren't meant to be friends with any of these people from the get-go. You'll find out which soon enough. And then all of you will move on with your lives. I understand that it sucks for a little while because learning from mistakes means making mistakes, and that sucks. One time I stuck my finger in a light socket, and now I know not to do that anymore. But nothing is forever. If you're happy and good to people and actively doing things, you'll find your people. I would say just apologize and mean it, and then it's up to them whether they want to forgive you or not. Your only job is to kind of be a flawed human being who does his best. And as long as you're doing your best, you should be fine. And that goes for all of you. Now get the hell out of my living room. Oh, would you look at that? There's a $10 bill on the ground. How are we supposed to spend the $10 if it's on the ground?
Let's do it again. You're making me smile.